Hey guys, so welcome back. Just a short video for you today. You may recall before we left for our trip to Texas, I was studying for the amateur radio technician's license, which is the first of 3 licenses that you can obtain in amateur radio. And so I tested and passed that test, and sure enough, I am now a licensed ham at the technician level. So I've been issued a call sign for my station by the FCC, and that call sign is KK7TQL. So that's Kilo Kilo 7 Tango Quebec Lima. And that will be my call sign on the radio when I transmit on the amateur bands. So as I mentioned, there are 3 different levels of license. And with each increasing level, you have more access to more bandwidth to transmit on. Again, with amateur radio, you can listen as much as you want on any bands, but to transmit, you do need to be licensed. So I have actually, since I passed that test, I've been studying for the next level, which is called the general license, which really opens up the bandwidth, and I'm testing for that 3 days from now. So I don't think I'm going to go to the 3rd level. I don't really see a need to do that right now, down the road for sure, but right now I just want to go to that next level, which really allows me to explore lots of bands. So anyway, KKTQL. You know, you've seen me talk about the Yaesu FT-891, which is my handheld radio that I've had for about 10 years and I've been listening on, but again, couldn't transmit till I got that license. So this is my handheld transceiver, and it works pretty well. I put a special antenna on here, so it allows me to, you know, cover different wider frequencies that this antenna is particularly tuned to. So that's my FT-60. For my birthday, which was about a month ago, Lisa bought me the Yaesu FT-891. And so today I'm going to do an unboxing of this transceiver. This is an awesome transceiver that's perfectly set up for mobile ham radio operations, but also serves as a perfect base station radio as well, especially for an entry-level radio for someone new into the hobby. This will transmit on from 160 through 6 meters, so that's a huge bandwidth, and it is an all-mode radio, so very versatile, and will transmit up to 100 watts of power, so that's huge for just a little radio. Anyway, let's open this thing up, have a look. The FT-891. Come on now. There we go. So in the box we have, she purchased this from DX Engineering, so we've got some DX Engineering stickers. There's the Yaesu sticker. Yaesu is the manufacturer. It's a Japanese-made radio, and they're very well made. They've been around for a long time, very popular in the amateur radio world, the brand Yaesu. There's the operator's manual, another DX Engineering sticker. There's your limited warranty card, and then this appears to be the radio itself. Nice, and it is about maybe a couple pounds, not too terribly heavy. The face plate is going to be separately in here. That's probably this here. There we go. So there's your face plate. that has your tuning knob and all your buttons to, you know, negotiate different bands. And it's really super functional. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with this radio as far as programming and, you know, very customizable. So when I do finally get it set up, I'll spend some time and show you how this thing works, hopefully. So that will affix to the front here. And, you know, if you were to have this in your car, for example, and you just wanted to remove this piece for security, you could do that. And then it also comes with, you know, various cables and mounting brackets. I believe there's also a microphone, yeah, handheld mic here. So that's cool. KK7TQL. Tie KK7TQL. Anyway, so that's cool. Now, I can't use this radio yet because with radios like this, you need a power supply. And so they're DC, you know, powered by DC current. And so I need to have a power supply to feed this thing. And if I'm going to use it in portable capacities, which I'll tell you about in a second, you know, I need some kind of battery. So there are lots of batteries that you can acquire specifically for this radio and others like it, but I'm still researching those. Once I get the power supply, then there are other accessories that you can attach to this that, you know, make the process of making contacts more efficient. But at a minimum, you have to have the power supply. And then the second component is the antenna. So, you know, antennas, this radio will not work without an antenna to receive and transmit. And antennas are all specifically tuned for different frequencies, so, or bandwidths. So there's all kinds of different antennas in the amateur radio world. And one of the fun things about amateur radio is building your own antennas. So lots of hams, they enjoy the process of building their own antennas. But again, I'm not able to operate this until I get a power supply and some kind of antenna. But once I do acquire those items, my plan with this radio is to, there's two things that are pretty popular in the ham radio world. One is called POTA, P-O-T-A, and it stands for Parks on the Air. And the other is called SOTA, S-O-T-A, and that stands for Summits on the Air. And the idea is you travel with POTA. The object is to go to as many state and federal parks as you can, set up your your equipment there at the park, and then try to make as many contacts with other people that are doing the same thing in parks around the country. And so you log those contacts and you get certain credit for those contacts. It's a little bit of a contesting hobby, but doesn't have to be. SOTA, Summits on the Air, which is something I'm especially interested in, are there's a database with a list of registered summits, mountaintops, and peaks and so forth. And the idea is you hike with your equipment up to a certain peak or summit, set up your equipment, and then try to make as many contacts as you can from that summit. And then you are logged into the main database as, you know, being the last person that was at that summit and made so many contacts. So to me, that's exciting because it gets me out into nature, which I love to do. And hiking to, I've looked at the database, there's some very obscure summits right here in our neighborhood that people haven't been to since the early 2000s. So that would be cool to actually, you know, go conquer a couple of those summits and you know, be listed as the most recent person to do that. So those are just a couple of ideas, you know, that people use their portable rigs for. Again, this could be set up at my home station, my fixed station, which I don't have right now, but it's a perfectly capable radio for doing that. So that's what's going on in the ham radio world. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, nationwide is what's called Field Day, and thousands of hams come together for a big event, and they set up their stations at a local, designated area. And the idea is 24 hours it runs from 11 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow to 11 o'clock Pacific time Sunday. And the object is to make as many contacts as you possibly can during that 24-hour period. It is a contest. You also get points for, having certain kinds of power supplies. They discourage, fuel-based power supplies like generators and so forth, but reward more green energy power supplies like solar panels and bicycle power. There's all kinds of ways to power these radios without using a generator. So anyhow, that's happening locally here in our part of the world tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have a good amount of participation in that. And I'm looking forward to just standing around. It's mostly Elmers. Elmer is a term that's applied to those folks that have been into ham radio for a long time and sort of serve as the teachers to the young people like me. So there'll be Elmers there, and I'll be looking over their shoulder to see how they operate on this field day. So that's the down and dirty for KKTQL. Signing off for now. Thanks for joining me, you guys. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.